the third video in this time management series on strategies of how to manage your time more effectively. So in this whole video, I'm going to talk about the principle of colonising the future, by which we really mean planning ahead. So in order to ensure that we are working on priorities, we need to make sure that we work on tasks before they become urgent and we're in crisis management mode. And to do that, you need to identify several things. First, the time you have available before the deadline. Second, when you work best. And thirdly, all the things in your life that are going to take time away from achieving those or working towards those goals. All the things that are unavoidable. So the first thing to think about is how you're going to record your time. So as a student, you work on the academic calendar. So it's a really good idea to have a wall chart if you can. And you can buy, if you're feeling like shelling out some of your hard-earned cash, academic calendar year wall charts. So they run from September through till August rather than January to December. But January to December works as well. You might just have to switch at Christmas. And the idea is that you put on those the events. So you're looking at scheduling onto those the deadlines, the holidays, the birthdays, the things that happen that are immovable and unavoidable. And then you might come down to a semester size schedule, maybe in a daily diary or an app on your phone or a desk planner, which looks at kind of a 3-month overview, which will let you know, so a 2 to 3 month overview depending on what calendar you're on, as to the beginning of a module and go all the way up to the assessment for that module. And then you're looking at the points in there. So there might be an academic development week, there might be some formative assignment tasks, there might be some presentation tasks, and then you'll probably have your assessment period. There may even be a break in there if it crosses the Easter break or crosses the Christmas break, and then your assessment deadlines. And then you're going to have a week-to-week task. Now, I am not a fan of a daily task planner because it's too subject to being knocked off course because life happens in between. Unfortunate events, illnesses, distractions, and other things, even just an off day, can really throw you out of joint if you're completely reliant on having to achieve everything every day on your priority list for the day. So I prefer to have this is what I'd like to achieve this week, which is kept realistic, and then if I have a day where something unexpected happens, then I can reprioritize over the rest of the week without feeling like I've completely been knocked off schedule. So the principle of colonising the future is looking ahead at the time between now and your events, which you have mapped on your big wall chart, such as deadlines, dividing that time equally between what you have to achieve. Now, not all of your spare time is going to be able to work towards final deadlines because you're going to have to do preparatory work for your lectures and seminars. You're going to have to do post-lecture or post-seminar quizzes and exercises. You'll have to do your day-to-day work. You may also have caring responsibilities, paid work, the usual things that we do around birthdays and other anniversaries in our lives, shopping, cooking, cleaning, prayer, as I said, paid work as well. So there's loads of things that are going to take up your time. Put them all on your schedule. Colour code them, but make sure they are all on your schedule. Do not pretend that you are going to get up and write an essay, do some really hardcore academic work on Sunday morning when you're regularly at the union night on Saturday night. I know this is not a thing at the moment because everything's shut because of COVID, but if you are, we've all been under lock and key for a year. Is it likely that you're going to get a huge amount done when the sun is out on a really beautiful day when you're finally allowed to go out and see your friends? I think we know that we need to also prioritise our well-being as well, but it's thinking realistically, no holds barred, no rose-tinted spectacles. What time do I have available? What do I need for my well-being as well? And seeing your friends is important, as is eating and sleeping and shopping and keeping your house clean. But also, what do I not need to be doing if I have to achieve my goals, such as the 3 essays that are going to come in from the 3 modules I'm studying this semester all at the same time, or within the 2-week assessment period, because this will happen. So that's the final part that I'm going to talk about in this video, which is the principle of interleaving, because you're not going to be able to work on one assessment at a time, because actually generally your assessments are all going to fall fairly close together just because of the way the academic calendar works. So you need to think about not only the time you have available, but how you're going to divide up working between different assessments. Now, I would suggest you have a point that you are comfortable with the progress you have made at your assessment. Now, for me personally, that is when I've done all my research and I've written a pretty thorough plan. I may not have written the final piece of work, and I probably haven't got all my references exactly in there, and the spelling is probably a bit dodgy, but by the time I have done my research and I've written a pretty thorough plan of what my outline is going to be, I'm comfortable that I'm on track with that piece of work. Once I've got a piece of work to that stage, then I can put it to one side and address the next assessment. So then I can go back to the previous one. Once I've got the second one up to a certain stage, I can go back to the previous one and finish it off in time for that deadline, and then shift back to the other one and finish that off in time for the deadline. So you're going to have to work out a way of interleaving your work so that you don't end up spending 3 weeks on one assessment and then 1 week on the other, for example. So I hope you found that idea useful. Colonize the future, honestly mapping out all the things that are going to take up your time on a weekly, termly and annual basis, and being really clear about the events and the periods of time that you have available, dividing them back by the macro tasks that we talked about, chunking down in the other video. So good luck with scheduling.